Everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to call at 10 a.m. to order the Board of Commissioners meeting for Tuesday, October 6th. If you would, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all very much. At this time, we'll accept any public comment for items not appearing on today's agenda. If there would be any public comment, please feel free to either use the prompt on your phone by pressing 5 to raise your hand, or if you're here in the room, we'll welcome you up to the podium. Is there any public comment at this time for items not on the agenda? Okay. Seeing and hearing none, we'll move to our meeting minutes from Tuesday, September 29th.
Motion to approve the minutes of the September 29th Board of Commissioners meeting.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. Any further discussion on the minutes? Hearing none and seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. The motion is carried. Okay. Moving into Proclamation 22 of 2020, we are going to be joined today by Christine Bishop and Jamie Sanfilippo to discuss this proclamation, and we're going to be considering proclaiming Center County as Center County Protects Kids Month. And we are appreciative of them being here to talk a little bit about what's going on here in our community, give an update, and talk about the road ahead. So please, if both of you would like to join us one at a time, whatever you're comfortable with, please. Yes. So good morning to both of you.
Good morning. My name is Jamie Sanfilippo. I am the Director of Community Outreach for the YMCA of Center County. I am also the lead trainer and coordinator for all of our Darkness to Light Stewards of Children trainings countywide. Joining me today is one of our program partners, Christine. Hello, thank you. Our other program partner, Kate Guestafaro, is with the Penn State Child Maltreatment Solutions Network. Christine and Kate actually helped set up this meeting, so thank you to them. For those of you who do not know, Stewards of Children is a child sexual abuse prevention training program that we brought to Center County as a direct result of the Jerry Sandusky scandal. To date, we have trained over 7,700 adults to prevent, recognize, and react responsibly to child sexual abuse. In 2019, in Center County, over 40% of all substantiated reports of abuse were considered sexual abuse. Last year in Center County, there were 48 cases of valid concerns and substantiated reports of abuse that were of sexual nature. COVID-19 has provided us with some unique challenges. Since March, abused children have been isolated at home, often with their abuser. Local CYS has received only half of the referrals they normally do, because children are not coming into contact with mandated reporters on a regular basis. It is crucial that we raise awareness through training at this time. We are aware that community members have safety concerns about taking this prevention training program in person. Our partnership is so passionate about protecting children that Christine and I have taken additional training so we can provide this training through a safe platform, virtually through Zoom. This prevention training program is provided to every adult in Center County at absolutely no cost to the participant. In the past, our Stewards of Children initiative was covered by a grant. That grant has run out, but the YMCA of Center County has been covering the cost of this program for the entire county for about the last 3 years. I personally do not know of any initiative in the nation that provides this training virtually and at no cost to the participant. The YMCA, Youth Service Bureau, and the Penn State Child Maltreatment Solutions Network believe it is extremely important that we keep this program free and accessible to every single adult in Center County. As you know, COVID-19 has had a tremendous financial impact on local nonprofits. We need the support of the community and local government now more than ever. If you happen to know of any grants or funding to support this program, please let us know as soon as possible. Child sexual abuse is preventable, but it is only preventable if you have the tools and the knowledge to do so. If you have not taken Darkness to Light Stewards of Children, now is the time. It is completely free and provided through a safe and convenient platform. We are simply asking for 2 hours of your time. If you would like to register, you can visit our website at ymcaocc.org. Thank you for having us, and thank you for considering to adopt the proclamation making October Center County Protects Kids Month. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jamie. Thank you.
Jamie, before you leave, what's the annual budget of your program, out of curiosity?
It varies from year to year, anywhere from 8 to 10,000.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much again. I just wanted to add that on behalf of Youth Service Bureau, we're a proud partner of this Stewards of Children initiative and so grateful for the opportunity to raise awareness in our community about preventing child sexual abuse. Now more than ever, when kids come into less contact with adults, more adults are encouraged to be trained because that will be what helps keep all of our kids even safer. So thank you. I'm so proud of the fact that not only were we able to reach our initial goal of training 5% of the adult population in the county, but we have maintained that over the years as well. And so we're really proud of that, and we hope that inspires more folks to take the training, because I think more than 5% is needed at this time. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Any comments, thoughts?
I'm just thinking if there was some way we could use any of our funding sources right now that might be able to help them, at least in the short run, to continue their program.
Sure, I had the same thought. If our hope is that you would have applied for some of the nonprofit funding that was available through the CARES Act. And if you didn't, we can always have a conversation offline about that. But since you have basically been impacted by the pandemic, needed to move training to a different platform, you're absolutely eligible and available to apply for it. So again, we'll the partners that you would need to talk to in terms of here at the county. So we will definitely continue that conversation. Absolutely.
I'd be willing to
Absolutely.
create an exception for this program since it was
Absolutely.
one that
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
That sounds like a good
Substrate.
idea. Great.
substrate of
great
another
concept.
organization. So I think it crosses many thresholds of organizations.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have your information, so we will get back in touch regarding that. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, absolutely. We not only appreciate you being here today, but all the work that's done by both the organizations, Jamie and Christine. Thank you so much. What we'll do is we will leave this with you once we're finished proclaiming it, and then you can have it with you. But this would be to proclaim, again, Center County Protects Kids Months here in Center County for the month of October 2020. Would there be a motion?
Motion to adopt proclamation number 22 of 2020, proclaiming October as Center County Protects Kids Month.
I will second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion is carried. Okay. All right, so we will hand that over to you, and there you go. Both go.
Thank you
Okay,
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you coming in.
Okay. Thank you again. Underneath COVID-19 planning and response, Margaret, do we have anything today that we need to discuss or go over?
The only thing I wanted to
Okay.
mention under COVID-19 planning response today is the continuation of the testing site at the
Sure.
Navy Mall. The Department of Health made the decision late last week to offer an additional 5 days of testing. I know there was some misinformation out in the public venue, but DOH has subsequently sent a press release out to everyone, but 5 days, Tuesday through Saturday.
I believe
That's
the
it.
only changes, they pulled it back 1 hour in the evening. Now it's
Yes,
7
that's-
until 6 p.m.
That is correct. It's 7 a.m. until 6 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday, and see what happens.
Okay, thank you, Margaret. Thank you. Margaret's been instrumental in getting that up and running, the logistics, conversations with the Department of Health, everybody here locally, the permitting, et cetera. So thanks, Margaret, for the update and all the work on that. We appreciate that. Okay. Going into contracts, we are going to be joined by our warden, Chris Schell, at this time to discuss this next item with Snyder County. Good morning, Warden.
Good morning, everybody. Just want to present a new contract, intergovernment housing agreement with Snyder County. We are looking to, contract rate is $65 per day for a period of January 1 through 2020 through December 31, 2020. We've been working with Snyder County, and it came to the point that they really, and we both agree that we should have something said and written down and contract-wise, so that's why we're going to open our doors up to Snyder County and get this housing agreement approved by the board here.
Okay. Thank you, Warden. Any feedback, questions for the Warden?
No.
Always a good idea to have it in writing.
Yep. Yep. We appreciate the partnership with Snyder County. Okay, we look for then a motion.
Motion to add the intergovernmental agreement with Snyder County to next week's consent agenda.
I'll second that.
All right, been moved and seconded. Any final discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Warden. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, next on the phone, we're going to be joined by Chad Joyce for an item under ITS. Good morning, Chad.
Good morning. I have one item. I'm going to introduce it, and then Kendra's going to go into a little more detail around the item. So this item is a proposal from J.P. Lilly to install a new sound system in courtroom 1. Looking for approval today as well. The total cost of the project is $36,463. And I'll go ahead and turn over to Kendra to elaborate more.
Okay, thank you very much, Chad. And we are, Kendra was on the line. She may have needed to jump off for something. And so if you could just
I
give...
can-
Oh, no, please. Yeah,
Oh,
you know what?
thanks, Margaret.
Margaret will take it. Okay?
So the court administration finds itself in a dilemma because the sound system in courtroom 1 is not currently working. And it's been hanging together by a thread for some time, but they are without a sound system. In our capital budget for this year, $17,000 was earmarked for replacement of the system, so we've known about this for a while. But the cost is higher than anticipated, and so we are recommending that within the court administration's budget that some money be moved around to make up the difference to achieve the $36,463. I will also share that courtrooms 2 and 3 are also in some difficulty with regard to the sound system. I think courtroom 3 may be a simple repair, but courtroom 2 is yet to be determined. So it's a necessary feature of the space. So, okay.
Is this above the bidding threshold?
Pardon me?
Is this above the bidding threshold? Do we have to bid this out?
Yeah, that is a fair point. It is.
The threshold is in the low 20s. I believe that Kendra received 2 separate quotes for this. There aren't a lot of go-to places, but she did receive 2 separate quotes. We could put it out to bid if that's the
We'll just make sure that we maintain legal status, that we do this correctly, whatever that may be.
Yeah, there is the opportunity to have it as professional services. So I would say if this can be done under professional services, that's I think I'm comfortable with it. But if it's not, just due to the nature of it, we could always we could table this until Thursday, the meeting on the 8th. That'd be my suggestion. Then just revisit it just to make sure it's able to be done under professional status.
And J.P. Lilly may also be a CoStarz vendor, which we can double check.
That's true. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
let's make sure we dot our I's here.
Thank you for that point, Commissioner. Thank you. Commissioner Higgins, anything else on that? Are you comfortable tabling until Thursday?
Yeah, let's table it and just double check.
All right.
So do I need a motion to table it?
Yes,
All right,
please.
so motion to table the proposal from J.P. Lilly, Inc.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to table this item. We will revisit on Thursday, the 8th. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. All right. Next item, we're going to bring in Ray Stolinas, and he'll join us over the phone. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning, Commissioners. How are you?
We're good, thank you.
This morning we have a cooperation agreement between PPL Sustainable Energy Fund and Center County Government for PPL Sustainable Energy Fund to act as a third party to administer the Center County CPACE program. Back on July 28th of 2020, the Commissioners created the Center County CPACE program through Resolution 17 of 2020. And CPACE, again, is to facilitate low-cost, low-term financing to owners of ag land, or ag properties, commercial and industrial properties as well, for energy efficiency and water conservation along with renewable energy projects. What the cooperation agreement accomplishes includes several items. allows the Sustainable Energy Fund to create some program guidelines for the commissioners to consider and approve to administer the program. It establishes an application process for real property owners to submit for qualified projects. SEF, in conjunction with the financing or the lender, will determine the amount of assessments to be levied for real property for qualified projects. It'll also, in turn, Center County will add amounts to be paid by owners of real property, bills, and collect assessments, and remit those to SEF as part of the program. One other major part of the agreement includes SEF and Center County working together to perform marketing and outreach to encourage participation in the program. There is a caveat in the agreement that if Center County decides to not participate with SEF, we have to give SEF a 120-day written notice to terminate the agreement. So in all, this agreement would establish SEF as a third party to administer the CPACE program here in Center County. And I think I pretty much summarized everything within that agreement.
Okay, thank you very much, Ray. We do recall that in late last year, 2019, we started the process of making Center County a CPACE county. We took action to do that earlier this year, and essentially, or mid this year, and essentially they would be the administrator of this. If we would have any entities that would like to take part in the program, they'd work hand in glove with SEF to get the project up and running, fill out the necessary paperwork, so the project would be a success. So essentially, that's all this is doing basically, is it's identifying SEF as the partner, and in terms of any costs that would be borne by the developer or the project owner, that would be on them. It would not be cost the county.
That's correct. SEF will most likely create a fee schedule for applicants for the program.
Okay, all right. Any other questions, feedback, comments on this?
Just very supportive of the concept. It makes it a lot easier for owners of agricultural, commercial, and industrial properties to invest in green energy and water conservation. All great ideas.
All right. Okay, all right. We then look for a motion to add it to next week's consent agenda.
Motion to add the cooperation agreement with PP&L Sustainable Energy Fund to next week's consent agenda.
Second that.
Then moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Ray, thank you again.
Thank you very much.
Okay. For our probation office, we have two items. One is for our juvenile office, and then one is for our full office. And we're going to welcome up Terry at this time to talk about the Juvenile Probation Services Grant Agreement. Good morning, Terry.
Yes, good morning, everyone. My name is Terry True, Juvenile Supervisor, Center County Probation. We'd like to present the Juvenile Probation Services Grant with the Juvenile Court Judges Commission in the amount of $37,107.15. This is a partial payment. We're anticipating a second payment following the passing of the Commonwealth budget. The second payment will be provided to the counties based on amount allocated to the Juvenile Court Judges Commission. We're hoping that it will total last year's amount, which was $104,000, and we're waiting for the passing of the second budget. But this is the first subsidy. Okay.
Excellent. Yeah, that's what we thought. We just wanted to double check on
Yes.
that. So we're in that boat at several offices. So thank you, Terry. Any questions for Terry on this?
All right, so that's the 5/12 amount.
Excuse me?
That's the 5/12 amount?
Yes.
From the
Yes.
state budget? We don't know what the rest of it's going to be at this point.
Correct, until the second passing of the second budget.
All right, hearing no other questions, we'll look for a motion.
Motion to add the grant agreement with the Juvenile Court Judges Commission to next week's consent agenda.
We'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Terry.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, we will welcome up our Director of Probation, Ryan Smeltzer, to discuss the purchase of some tasers. Good morning, Ryan.
All right, morning. So I believe it was about a month ago I approached the Board of Commissioners hoping to address the need of a lack of intermediate weapons for the probation department. Currently, we just now have deadly weapon choice by firearm and OC spray. And we feel like it's a really good step in the right direction for our department to be able to utilize tasers It gives us a different tool for our tool belt moving forward. So I approached the taser company Axon and requested the purchase of 6 tasers, which that comes with all the duty cartridges and the training cartridges for a 5-year time period. And the contract that I provided to you, that if you had a chance to review, there's 2 options to purchase. It can be a 5-year increment. Every year you would pay a portion, or you can just pay the full lump sum.
I think we're opting with this amount to do a full lump sum payment and just to take care of it. So, excellent, Ryan. Yeah, this is, again, more options for engaging with individuals, and this will keep your officers safe. So,
Absolutely.
excellent. Okay. Any other feedback, questions for Ryan?
It's a great idea to improve the safety for our probation officers and the citizens in the county.
Okay, we looked at for a motion.
Motion to add the purchase from Axon Enterprises to next week's consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 The motion is carried. Thank you, Ryan.
Good.
Take care.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll turn it over to Margaret now for a risk management discussion for professional liability. Good morning, Margaret.
I'm presenting for Krista this
Okay.
morning. This is a contract renewal, professional liability insurance policy for the Public Defender's Office through NLADA Insurance Services. The total premium is $5,013.44 for the period of December 31st, 2020 through December 31st, 2021. Again, a renewal.
Okay, thank you very much, Margaret. Any questions for Margaret on this item? Okay, hearing none, is there a motion?
Motion to add the policy with NLADA Insurance Services to next week's consent agenda.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion is carried. Thank you, Margaret. Okay, for Human Services, we'll Natalie. Good morning, Natalie.
Good morning. So the first item for the attention for the board is our fiscal year 1920 early intervention report. This report is for our Pennsylvania Office of Child Development and Early Intervention. It reviews July 1, 2019 through June 30, 2020, in which a total of $1,033,541 was spent on our early intervention services. A breakdown between federal, state, and county is listed there for you, county share being $100,240. For reference for this, what this report really is to highlight is the fact that we received 248 referrals for our early intervention program, serving 337 children. To put that into context, last fiscal year, we received 293 referrals, served 440 children, and spent about $1,111,346. So we're a little bit lower than last year. Obviously, the last quarter of the fiscal year with COVID-19, we had to pump the brakes until the state kind of gave us all the guidance that we needed to do tele, and that is where we remain today. Just for the public to know, our early intervention services are still available. We work through our providers to do telework with our families and the children to ensure that they can continue this service. But that fiscal year will highlight the 337 children that we were able to support with the funding we received from the state.
Okay, thank you, Natalie. All right, we look for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve the fiscal year 2019 to 2020 early intervention report of income and expenditures.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. The motion is carried.
So for the 6 contracts, contracts 2 and 3 are addendums from the last fiscal year. What this is additional revenue that we were able to put toward our drug and alcohol outpatient providers. So throughout the year, they might have had some additional needs. Some rate changes have occurred through Medicaid. Some services that we wanted to provide to individuals that outpatient, we were able to then reimburse through our fiscal year and drug and alcohol funding that we received. And so both Quest and Crossroads will receive additional funding to complete their contract for 2019-2020. And then contracts 4, 5, and 6 are renewals for us from Youth Service Bureau for our mental health services, specific our housing support and family supports, as well as our youth, our student assistance program, family group decision making. St. Francis is to provide us the surveys that they do for us regarding our intellectual disability services. And then our final contract is with Service Access and Management, who provide our emergency delegate services for us. All of these contracts do reflect the 5-month budget from the state.
Okay, thank you, Natalie. Any questions, feedback for items 2 through 6? Okay, hearing none, is there a motion?
Motion to add the mental health intellectual disability, early intervention, drug and alcohol, items 2 through 6 to next week's consent agenda.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. All right, and then we have a letter of commitment.
So this is on behalf of Adult Services. This is our letter of commitment with the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. This is for the FAIR 2020 Rental Assistance Program. We received that opportunity to receive $18,000 through our PHFA to continue our rental assistance program that we have been. And so the letter of commitment highlights the $18,000 that we will receive from PHFA, the $34,000 from our Act 137 dollars at the county, and an additional $13,000 of in-kind dollars that we receive through our homeless assistance program. This rental assistance will not start until January 2021. It's how they all line up. But this letter of commitment shows that we will be moving forward with that program.
Okay, great. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you. All right, we look for a motion.
Motion to add the letter of commitment with the PHFA to next week's consent agenda.
Second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried.
So we would like to add one other thing, and it says this. So yesterday, Governor Wolf put an emergency order in for the CARES Rental Relief Program. That program was to end September 30th. To receive applications were to end September 30th, but the governor put an emergency order in yesterday extending applications to November 4th. And so our Office of Adult Services will continue to take applications. We received apparently a handful of them over the weekend as they came into the mail, I was told this morning. And so we are continuing to process them, do the outreach we need to do with landlords and the tenants to continue to allocate that funding. It's still funding through December 31st. It's just the fact that the applications had an additional extension put on them by the governor to November 4th. So if people are interested, our website remains centercountypa.gov/rent relief. Faith's been working to update that in adult services, so information is current. So bear with us if today we're still putting that on the website, as we just found out yesterday afternoon that he extended that order. So I just thought we would highlight that while we were here. So.
Thank you, Natalie. And that funding is available to go back a few months, correct?
Yes, it goes back to March, and then through December 31st. And so every month, as we begin a new month, we still have to do the same outreach to our landlords and tenants. So even though we might have helped you in August, we would continue to have conversations with you if you were eligible. Any individuals that aren't eligible, we're looking at our continuum of rental assistance that we offer. But with that extension, just comes the opportunity for any additional applications that might have already been received.
Great, excellent. Thank you for that update. Thank you.
Sure.
Any questions? Okay, yeah.
Question just now. Did the governor give a reason? Did he give sort of a rationale behind why he extended the deadline?
I did not see the rationale. My understanding was there was some, I'm not sure if it was a bill or a recommendation to not only extend the due date, but they were also looking at eligibility within the program, possibly looking at changing up the allocation amounts. But as that was not being able to finalize through the House and Senate, he then just issued the emergency order to simply extend the due dates then.
Do you think this is going to have an impact on allowing more? Do you think significantly more people could apply because of this extension?
We would hope so. I mean, I think we've, have the applications out there as far as wide as we can, but obviously as employment continues to change for people, as we continue to feel the impact of the pandemic, it now allows people that might feel that in October to then still be the opportunity to get an application. So we hope that people take advantage of the opportunity if they are struggling, if they need help to do the application now that the November 4th due date has been extended.
The volume applications, have you been getting more applications in recent weeks?
So we've been tracking our applications and trying to visualize that. Some weeks we might have 20 applications, and the following week we might have 12. I think this past week we might have had 9 or 10, but we were also anticipating it ending. And so now that we will see the weekend where everybody got it in before that original due date, I think we'll see that continue. So it's been a steady number. We've helped a significant amount of not only tenants but landlords, who own these properties. We've been able to meet the needs of that. So yeah, we've had a steady application program going in with this. Really, we have.
You break down the age group too, if you have, just, if not ballpark?
I don't have that kind of information, at all. At least I think that's not something that we have to report out on. Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you.
Okay, we have today's consent agenda in front of us. Would there be a motion to approve today's consent agenda?
Motion to approve today's consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. The motion is carried. Okay. We'll head into liquid fuels then, and we'll turn it back over to Margaret.
Thank you. 2 liquid fuels applications this morning for your approval to submit to PennDOT. First is a liquid fuels application from Potter Township in the amount of $8,500 for installation of a speed alert 18 radar message sign unit. And the second application is from Worth Township in the amount of $43,263 to make road improvements and upgrades to the East Mountain Road. Both of these projects were approved in our last calendar year and just now being at a point where we submit the application for payment.
Okay, thank you very much, Margaret. Would there be a motion to approve these 2 submissions?
Motion to approve submission of the liquid fuels application to PennDOT.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion has carried. Okay, thanks, Margaret. For our authority, or for our ABCs, we have some appointments, reappointments, a few changes here. Okay. So, for our Recycling and Refuse Authority, we have Ashley Snook, and she would be appointed to fill the unexpired term of Irvin Hoy. And her term would be from October 1st of this year until the end of 2021. For the Housing Authority, we'd look to reappoint George Corey, who's been a longtime member of that board, and his reappointment would last from October 1st of this year until the July 31st, I should say, of 2025. For the Housing Authority, also, we'd have Jennifer Stahl, and she would be looking to be appointed to fill the unexpired term of Anna Kopesberger. And that term for Jennifer would go from October 1st of this year until February 14th, 2022. And we'll extend our thanks and appreciation for Anna Kopesberger, who served on the Housing Authority for about 3.5 years, from 2017 until 2020. So we look for a motion to that effect.
Motion to approve the ABC appointments, reappointment, and resignation.
Second.
Okay. It has been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. The motion is carried. Okay. And then we will turn it over to Margaret just for a report on Resolution 2 of 2020.
Yes, as you recall, Resolution 2 of 2020 was adopted in January, and it provides authorization for the county administrator to execute financial documents not to exceed $10,000, and only in those circumstances where the item has been budgeted or is allocated within the 2020 county budget and approved in public session. So in accordance with that resolution, I provide a quarterly report to you of the financial transactions that have been authorized for under that $10,000 amount. There are 15 items this time, ranging from $280 to, I believe, the highest is $8,200. All renewals or within the 2020 budget.
Okay. Thank you, Margaret. Any questions on any of those items? Okay.
Thanks for taking care of those.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Moving into check run, we'll turn it over to Commissioner Higgins.
Sure. Larger than average check run of $1,984,249.34. The checks of the week are to the Center County Youth Service Bureau for a broad variety of services back in June, including gambling prevention, Big Brother, the Snowshoe and Bellefonte locations, and client visitations. So would like to make a motion to approve the check run dated October 2nd.
Okay.
Second.
All right. It's been moved and seconded to approve the check run, just shy of $2 million. All those in favor of approving the check run say aye. Aye. Motion is carried. Okay. And then Commissioner Gershon, over to you.
Okay, we have a voter registration report this morning that includes 109,969 registered voters in Center County. That's up 160 from last report. Okay, the roster looks as such: 46,135 Democratic registrants, 153 Green Party, 695 Libertarian, We have 15,008 no affiliation and 43,696 Republicans, which leads all others at 4,282 registered voters. And the feature party of that 4,282 is the Libertarian Republicans. There is actually, when I say Republicans, I should say Republican because there's only one registered. So, and that being said, we move ahead to the approval, I guess, or acknowledgement rather, of in the last election of precinct number 88, which precinct number 88 had 1,101 registered voters, 505 ballots cast, which leads to a percentage turnout of 45.87%. Precinct number 88 is Ferguson North 3, which votes at the State College Evangelical Free Church on Blue Course Drive. And the folks that make it happen at Precinct 88, Suzette Poremba is the judge of elections. The minority inspector is Tamara Mistrick. The majority inspector is Lisa Hahn. And the clerks are Bill Corey and Jill Plafcan. So we want to thank them for their service. And we also want to thank the folks at the Evangelical Free Church for allowing us to use your facility. Also want to acknowledge that October 19th is the last day to register to vote in Center County. So if you haven't done so, you have until the 19th to get that done, which is rapidly approaching. Yeah. Michael, is there anything else to add as far as any other election announcements?
No, I think that's the most important thing at this point is that deadline is fast approaching for people to register. About 2 weeks left, and if people get registered, they can obviously vote. But at the elections meeting a little bit later today, we'll go into a little bit more in depth some of the updates on things. But no, we're fast approaching, 4 weeks away, right around the corner. So thank you, Commissioner. Thank you. All right. Any executive sessions to report, Margaret? Okay. All right. We have the balance of our schedule on the agenda, back to the agenda here, and then we'd look for any questions from the press at this point.
Appears there's some new mail-in ballot boxes up we've seen going either already in or going in at the present moment, correct?
That's right, yes.
Is there any concern? Obviously, last week spoke, there was talk about that, the idea we can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. Once the votes are in those boxes, how do you begin to remove them? Obviously, I think since we're moving forward with this, any concern, though, on any of the litigation out there that could pull these ballot boxes at this point, now that they're out there and open, basically, right?
Sure. I think, as we've said before, is we're going to administer the elections in the best way that we know at the time. We have been very mindful to do it in a very secure and safe way. We have the 24/7 video surveillance at each of the sites. It'll be emptied at least once a day by a bipartisan team of people. Those individuals will have a sheriff's deputy accompanying them if anything would happen. And so we've got some good protocols in place that we've actually had some other counties reach out to us, and we've shared our plan with them, and they've been taking a look at it to see if they'd like to duplicate it or reuse it in some way. But all that meaning is said is where, at the end of the day, if there is court movement or if the courts come in and say we can't, we won't, and if they remain to say we can, we will.
Everything going off so well in terms of installing all of them? Nothing that you've heard of, or just the process of installation, everything going well?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we had good practice with the one here out in front of the Willowbank building in the primary, so we were able to make sure we had the right tack cons and all the other different materials we needed. So each of the entities that we've been working with, whether a municipal building or our own magisterial district justice office, we've been prepping the site for a few weeks now, and so yeah, everything's going smoothly.
They are open now, correct?
They are technically, yes, but we have not sent, or people haven't received ballots yet. So, yeah. So what we said is tomorrow they will be open because as we begin to get ballots mailed out and we begin to have the satellite elections office open, people can opt to get their ballots there, then go return it to a drop box. So tomorrow they'll be open.
Update on the satellite, any updates there from whether the state or from a tech perspective on that right now?
Sure, everything's running smoothly. We installed a firewall last week. We're getting the technology installed yesterday and today. That's going to be put in place. Tonight we'll be doing some dry run-throughs, make sure everything's open and ready. And then we're going to be having limited hours Wednesday and Thursday, and then we'll be opening up to a 7 or 8 hour daily basis starting on Friday and moving forward.
Thank you.
Sure.
Inmate population at the prison has been increasing in recent weeks. Do you track whether that's county, or is it you've got agreements with other counties? Are they moving folks into our prison to COVID-19, or do you have any kind of data on that?
Sure. It is individuals here in Center County that we've seen an increase in the Center County incarcerated individual population, but also on the out of county. And we saw today we're going to be executing an agreement with Snyder. We've been taking a few of their folks, and we just wanted to get this officiated. So it's both are rising. I think we still, from a state perspective, are seen as a correctional facility that can handle out-of-county inmates, and other counties look to us to do that. But also here in Center County, we are seeing an uptick of our own residents.
You had an early release program at one point. Is that not continuing or suspended, or?
Sure. Since the pandemic, when the pandemic was in place, and this is March and April, we did take a look at with the judges, correctional staff, our district attorney, and then the defense folks, looked at who could and who couldn't and who shouldn't be released, and they came up with a very good cooperative understanding about who it would be and who wouldn't it be. So we are not at this point or releasing people before their minimum due to the pandemic, but that option is still available if the warden and his staff would need to call up again the judge, the DA, and other folks and have that conversation.
Secretary of Health Dr. Levine in recent weeks said they've had special groups here in Center County. I think 2 weeks ago you posted social media the county was at a defining moment with COVID. At one point you raised an issue about contact tracing with zip codes. Are you making progress on any of those issues?
Yes, absolutely. About 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, after we had those conversations with the Department of Health, two big things happened. We were able to work with them to, as Margaret talked about today, get a drive-through, no-cost testing site opened up within the county, which has been utilized over 1,000 times by our residents. It'll continue to be utilized as we go throughout the next 5 days. But that was a big deal. I think that's a big deal. It allows people the opportunity to not leave their cars, not need to schedule an appointment. So that was, I think, a great benefit that the Department of Health is paying for the citizens here. In addition, they did work with us to get to build on the partnerships that we already had here in Center County, just again to bring the Department of Health's team in to talk about some steps forward and what that would look like. And so they titled it the C-React program, where they basically came in. It was a lightning strike force. There wasn't a lot of, well, let's do this in a month, let's do this in 2 months. It was, what do we do now? What do we do right now? And so they developed some recommendations, and we're currently reviewing them. But again, it was a full stakeholder engagement with the hospital, the university, the county, some of the local municipalities that have been affected by the case increases. And then coming out of that, there's been a more granular data that we've been able to get from the Department of Health regarding ages, regarding more zip code breakdowns for ages. And so that's been tremendously helpful to give that data to the school districts so they can make some decisions, and also to the university so they can make some decisions. So yeah, there has been great progress on further recommendations, data, and testing here in Center County.
Is it still safe to say the Penn State information dominates the countywide
Yes.
case numbers?
That's correct. The zip codes and the age data would bear that out, yes.
The governor, I think Dr. Rachel Levine, just recently within, I guess, an email here, announced that they are expanding both indoor and outdoor gatherings based off of a rate limit. I know the outdoors could be significantly larger than the 250 number. Given that there are between, high school football, obviously they're not going to be playing in Beaver Stadium this year, but other large outdoor events, that could be expanded in the county. Your response to this expansion, this lift on the gathering restrictions?
If it just happened, I'd personally, I would hesitate to comment on it beforehand. As we know, the virus, it does not transmit as much outdoors. But again, we're learning things new every day about it. So I personally, I'd want to look at it to give a fuller response.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. All right. We'll see if we have any questions on the phone here from anybody. Not seeing any at this time, so we will then look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn at 10:45.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you, everybody.